and I was like, this thing like is already affecting one of my kidneys. I hope you are not sleeping with your boyfriend, though. Don't let your boyfriend like don't infect your boyfriend with this thing. You know, those kind of words. And most of these people just want to make money from you. To like, that was what, at some point I didn't even go to any hospital again. Even I'm not trying to scare you, but it's important if you know all of these things like earlier than now that you're not married or it's more depressing than ever. A lot of times I just sit down and I cry. Like I cry my eyes out. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. If this is like the first time of seeing this face, thank you so much and welcome to my channel. My name is Bemi and I would like to see more of you on this channel. So please click the subscribe button right now and hit the notification bell button beside it so that you can know when I drop content like this. And if it's not your first time, you know you are an OG, so welcome back and thank you so much for all your support. So in this video, I just want to share like my experience with an infection that I battled with for years and also some like hygiene tips that you can actually use or make use of like as a lady. This looks like what you're interested in. You definitely want to keep on watching. I'm going to like make sure that I keep this video like not lengthy because I know that I can talk, and at the same time I'm kind, pardon me if I'm like somehow in this video if I'm talking somehow because I'm kind of like anxious. I was talking between like making this video or making another because you know I had anxiety. Do I want to be this vulnerable? Do I want to like talk about it? But I just felt like let me just do it once and for all, and then maybe some people will learn and also like have an idea of how these things work. That's why I decided to just do this video. Yeah, so when I was in under level, that was in 2015. Okay, we resumed in 2016. I was sick and I went to the clinic, like in health center in my school, and then I was given like drugs. And when I go to the pharmacy, the pharmacist was telling me that okay, I should not do this and that. I should change my panties. I should like not share toilet. She was just giving me stuff like that. But they didn't tell me like what was wrong with me, which I actually like was not happy with because you actually like you know what was wrong with me. You can see that this is what was wrong with me, and you can see that this is my age. I wasn't even young. You can like see that this is my age. I could actually handle whatever you tell me and actually take care of myself, and you didn't tell me. So me, I was just thinking that maybe it's just like something that could happen to me, maybe like malaria that you treat once and for all. And that was it. I didn't even take the not sharing toilet so seriously. So that went, and I told my mom, I was like, this was what I got from the hospital. And me, I was even considering staying alone because I was thinking I don't want, because then like guys, I would like my stomach, my lower stomach like this be so painful. There's going to be like sharp then that was the symptoms I used to have then. Sharp sharp pain in my abdomen, lower abdomen. So that was because I didn't want to be going through that stuff again. So I was thinking that if that is the like solution and there's no problem. So that one was like that. They gave me this what's it called? There was this syrup that I used to take. It looks like urine. Sorry, it looks like urine, like it's yellow like this. I will look for the picture and put it on the screen for you guys to see. And I was given Cipronol, like it's one of the Ciprotab family. So I was given Cipronol and some other drugs as well. So I used to take it. So yeah, I like I said, I thought this was something that I can actually like take once and then I'm fine. So until I realized that I kept like having temperature and all of that. But one thing about me is I don't really take my health so seriously. I don't used to take my health so seriously. Like when I have stuff like that, I just go back to the drugs I have, take it, and I'll be fine. And I realized that after like 2 weeks again, I will be back and I'll be having like symptoms again. In some level, there was a course that we wrote, HSM 200. I barely attended that class. It was my friend. I had a very close friend then. It was one that I used to follow me to the clinic almost every Friday that time. I'll go to the clinic and then I'll go back home from there. It would stay with me and all of that. So it was that serious. So I was still taking that Ciprotab. Like I used to go to a center, but they used to give me drugs, but they didn't tell me what was wrong with me. And they didn't even tell me anything that I should do. They didn't explain anything that was wrong with me. So I didn't even know. That was in 2016. So in the process, they actually like discovered that I had ulcer as well and all of that. So when I was in 300 level, that was in 2017, 2018, I didn't really feel it that much. In 2019, guys, in 2019 was when reality hit me. I just realized in 2019 that I used to have temperature, like my body would be like very hot And at some point, I was thinking, in 2019, I was on FPY, farm practical year. It was when I came back to school that all of this thing started, though. Maybe because of the toilets and the poor hygiene that was in the farm that the villages that we went to, because we spent 3 months in the village, different villages, 4 different villages, and then another 3 months in school. So when I got back to school was when I started having these issues. I was even thinking at some point that maybe it was because of the stuff that maybe the food we eat there and all of that, until I realized that, okay, yeah, let me just keep the story coming. So when I came back to school, I realized that I was always having like, I was always being sick, getting sick. I was always, or was it before I left the location? I can't remember vividly. I think before I left the location, I can't really remember. But I knew that when I go back to school, I was always like being sick, getting sick. So I was not like, what could be the problem? So I treated malaria myself, because I didn't want to go to that school health center. So I treated malaria, and I treated typhoid as well. When I treated malaria, and malaria did not like had effect. You know, I told you guys that 2018, 2017, I didn't really had issues with it. So my mind was not even like maybe what was happening to me then. So I treated malaria, and malaria didn't leave. I was still having the symptoms. So I was like, maybe this would be typhoid. So I went to the pharmacy. Okay, I went to the pharmacy at camp, and I got typhoid drugs. When I got that typhoid drugs, I still was feeling like I still felt like something was wrong with me. When I took the drugs, like typhoid drugs, I still didn't feel better. So, but one thing about this is, even if I don't take drugs, like if I don't take any medications rather, in some days, in few days, I'll be fine. If I don't take medications at all, in few days, if like I had like symptoms for like 3 days, like the 4th or 5th day, I'll be fine again. So that was, in fact, at some point I was even tired. So, and another thing about it is, these symptoms comes anytime. Like I might be fine like from morning to night, and then from morning and then in the evening around 7 p.m. anytime, I'll just be having like serious temperature, and then I would know, because the symptoms I used to have is different from the malaria. So I used to know that this is what is happening to me, right? So there was this time in 2019 that I visited a friend in Ibadan, and I was in his place, and in that night I started having temperature again. Like it started again, and the second day I just told him that I can't take this anymore. So I looked for a hospital around that Moliti, around about side, and I went there, and I told the doctor that I just want to like do tests, run tests. It should run tests for me, because I don't know what's wrong with me. He was like, what's the symptom? I told him. So when I told him my symptoms, and he gave me, they like did tests for me. They took my blood sample, my urine sample, and what else? I can't remember, but I think I'm very sure that they took my urine and blood samples. After some hours, the doctor called me. The results was already ready, and then the doctor was telling me that I had an infection, and I had an infection. I was like, I had an infection. What infection is it? And it was like, I had UTI. That's urinary tract infection. And guys, the first thing that actually came to my mind was, so this has been what has been happening to me over these years, 2015, 2016, 2017, 2018, 2019, and I don't know. And it didn't even stop there. And it was like, this thing like is already affecting one of my kidneys. And I was like, okay. It was at that point I knew that there was a problem. When he told me that it was already affecting my kidney, I was like, what can I do? Because of course I have to ask you for solutions, because I was already like down, because when I heard my kidney, I know what kidney is. So when I heard my kidney, I was already imbalanced. Like, what could be the problem? So when he now said like he was going to give me drugs and injections, but number one, I didn't have anywhere to stay in Ibadan like for those 3 days, and also I didn't have money, because the money was much, maybe around 30k or something, because the private hospital that I went to, I didn't want to go to the public hospital, so I think it was around 30k or something. And I don't have I've already paid for the the test, so I didn't have money. I called the woman, and I was like, she started saying the amount she has, the money needs to I had in my account, and the friend my friend, I called him, so I sent money. I just told him that the only thing I can do for now is just take the drugs. I'll take the drugs and pay for the everything I did and go. They were like persuading me like I should take. I said I didn't want to tell them I don't have money, but I just told them that I don't. I knew it was so serious, but number one, there was no way I could get money from. Number two, I had to take injection for 3 days. There's no way I would stay. I didn't plan staying with my friend for like that long. Besides, I had stuff to do in school. I was still in school. I still had some things to do. So I just came back. I just said that I would take the drugs and then I'll come back to school. So I came back to Abeokuta, and I was thinking that I don't know, but I was thinking that okay, if I take this drug, I was going to be fine, and I was going to be like okay and all of that. And yeah, I took the drug. I was fine. That was 2019. I was fine. Nothing was like. I was okay and all of that, and I still had that drug. Like I didn't finish the drugs, the drugs were more, so I didn't finish the drugs. So I just like had the drugs with me, and then whenever I feel that symptom, I take the drugs again. So that was what I was doing back then. So fast forward to 2020. So now the thing is, even after in 2019 too, after the drugs and all that, I still used to feel like I said, I used to feel it. So when I feel it, I just take drugs. So 2020, I was in Lagos. January, I went to Wafbeck. So when I got to Wafbeck, I got to church at, I think in the evening. And when I got to church, it started again. I started feeling feverish. I started running temperature and all of that. And then when that happened, I knew that this thing has already come back again. So when that happened, when I was going back home, to where I would stay, I just branched at a pharmacy, and I grabbed a Ciprotab and some other drugs I feel like would help. It was my lifestyle since all these things began to like happen. That was my lifestyle. Enter a store, get a Ciprotab and all of that. So not like the regular Ciprotab. I think I use Ciprotab TN, or there's this Cipronon that I use. So that was it. So in 2020, when there was lockdown, yes, I started having this thing again that even when I take this stuff, it didn't even work anymore. Maybe my body has already gotten used to it. It wouldn't even work at that point, and there was lockdown. So I called a friend of mine, Bisola, and I asked her she should give me like the contact of the hospital that she uses, so that I can call them if they still work during the lockdown. And they said they work. So when we got there, I got myself to the hospital, and when I got there, I told them that I wanted to run tests, and then the lab attendant was asking me that she took my samples as well, and then she was asking me that what drug have I taken. That was when I went for the result. She was like, I think I got the result the same day or maybe the second day, I can't remember. So she was asking me that what drug was I using. I said I was taking amoxicillin and Ciprotab, and she was like, I should have continued taking it because I think what was still happening to me was still UTI, so it wasn't like anything. So but the problem I had and why I was depressed was I got depressed as well. In fact, this thing is more depressing than anything. Like it's very, very depressing. The fact that you could actually, like, do you understand what it means to like know that something is happening to your kidney, to have that, to live with the fact that you know that something that is happening to your kidney. And now in 2020, when I now realized that was what was still happening to me, I was not thinking that over these years, it's so like, am I fine? Is it like this thing will not affect me like later in life? I started thinking about all of these things, and it got to me like, this thing is more depressing than ever. It's more depressing than ever. A lot of times I just sit down and I cry. Like I cry my eyes out because it is like, just think that for every time I feel like that, I used to feel like maybe something is happening to my kidney, and someday the kidney will just stop working. It will just get ruptured fully and it will stop working. That was it. So when she asked me, and then I told her that okay, well, this is it and all that, she was not like, I should have continued using it, and it's like it's UTI and all of that. She didn't tell me anything. So she didn't tell me anything. She just gave me drugs to buy, and they gave me doxycycline, they gave me Ciprotab and some other stuff. I bought the drugs and I came back home. I took the drug, and for some time I was fine. If I feel it again, I will take the drugs. Sometimes I used to even buy doxycycline myself. Like I used to have doxycycline at home. So when everything, I just take the drugs and everything. So in there was not a particular day that I want to go and buy Ciprotab at a pharmacy around here. So I got there and I was asking the lady that I want to buy Ciprotab, and they said they don't have. And I was like, okay, well, maybe I should get an alternative. They did have an alternative because I was like feeling feverish so bad. And then they had a consultant. The consultant was asking me that what was happening. I explained to her. She was not like, before I buy any drug, thank God for that lady that day. She was not like, I should go to a lab and test myself first before I buy any drug. Because with everything I explained to her, that okay, even before that time, I'm on a group. I think I'm on a group, AGS tribe group, and then I think I asked on the group. I asked some questions on the group about anybody that has a UTI and what I can use and all of that. And people started answering me that I should use cranberry juice and that it works. In fact, that time I used to buy cranberry juice very well. So they're like, I should use cranberry juice, that it works and all of that. So yes, okay, that was when. So somebody now started me off from the group, and then was telling me that she's married, she has children, and then she has UTI, and it affected her when she gave birth a lot, that I should take care of it now, that I can take care of it. I was already crying, like, I was depressed. I'm not even joking, like, it's more depressing than anything. So I just said, okay, no problem. So I planned that I would actually go to a lab and get myself tested. So when I now went, what I wanted to go and do at the this thing was at the pharmacy was just buy drug. So the lady was not talking to me like, okay, Nico. She was not like I should go to a lab, and then she gave me, she wrote some things, the test I should do for me, like I should do this test and this test. So I now put it on my status that anybody that knows a good lab should. So a friend of mine now replied to my stand, give me a lab around Abeokuta here. So I went to the lab. I explained to the doctor. I told the doctor what I want to do, and then he was asking me that why. So I explained everything to him, and then when I explained to him, it was not like that they are going to take my blood sample, my urine sample, and then I'm going to do swab tests. And I was like, okay, fine. And note, all this period that I was having this problem, I was not even sexually active. Because I had to read about it, I had to read it, and I realized that people that have infections and viruses and all that, like there's a particular percentage, I'm not sure of the statistics, of people that are even virgins that have these infections and viruses, especially HPV. And I was like, oh wow. I was not even like sexually active at all. So I was concerned that then why do I have to deal with all these things? So I went to the hospital, and then the doctor. So I went back for my results, and when I went back for the results, they were like, it was still the same thing, like UTI, and he told me like the name of the virus. I can't remember the name of the viruses, but he told me all of these things, and then it was like, okay, no problem, that they will give me drugs and injections and all of that. So he gave me drugs. The drugs were plenty. The drugs were much, guys. Like, see, one thing that this infection has done to me, from the fact that I always get depressed, is the fact that, like, I take drugs as if I am crazy. I don't like drugs, but I don't have choice. Like, I take drugs as if I am crazy. In fact, it gets to the point that it was even kind of embarrassing. Like, when you go to doctors and nurses and they start telling you that, hope you are not sleeping with your boyfriend, or don't let your boyfriend don't infect your boyfriend with this thing, those kind of words. And then it's kind of, and most of these people just want to make money from you. That was what, at some point I didn't even go to any hospital again, because these people just want to make money because they know that you are desperate for your health to be, you are desperate to be fine, and then they also know that you don't know anything about it, so they want to make money of it. I didn't even go to the hospital again. It was like, if I want to even go to anywhere, it would be the lab, because when I went to the lab, it was better than when I was going to the hospital, because these people just take your money. They will not even tell you anything. So the doctor had told me stuff. He told me the name of the virus and all of that. I was like, okay, no problem. So I took the drug. I took injection for like 3 days as well. And then after the 3 days, I think they said they are going to like do another test for me. He called it a name. A test, another same test to show if that virus is still in my system or not. And then they did the test and they said it's not in my system anymore and all of that. Okay, I said, okay, no problem. But now when I went to the lab, why I was happy that I went to the lab was the doctor sat me down and educated me. Like, what nobody has told me in like 5 years I've been battling with this infection. I've been going to the hospital, the clinic and all of that. And he was telling me that, number one, whenever I pee or I poo, I should make sure that I clean my vagina with like tissue paper, clean one. After using water, I should use like a clean tissue to wipe it up, to wipe it off, because if I don't wipe it off and it actually like stays on my panties, it can actually grow microorganisms, and that way they can breed some other stuff. So it taught me that, and since then I've always had tissue. Like I've always had tissue with me every single time. I always have tissue. And then also it told me that I should not be using my pads for a very long time. Not even because of the way people like these brands used to say it, but if you actually use like your pad for a very long time and then it has a buildup of like blood, it can actually build microorganisms as well. Did you get? So it told me a lot of like female hygiene tips that I should take, and it was like I should not use. It told me that I should not use toilets. So all these things that it sat me down and it educated me. Like I should not use like toilets from outside, like all these public toilets rather, public restroom. Like I should not use public restroom anyhow. That even if I would use at all, I should just bend over it like this. And even if I would use it at all, I should put tissue paper all over the this thing like this, over the seat, the water closet seat itself. Like you should put tissue paper on it and make sure that I flush it first before using it at all, and I cannot use it, and I should not stay long. And then he told me all of these things, and I was like, okay. And it was like I should change my panties like frequently, and I should make sure that I shave. Like it was telling me the truth, and I was like, I've told me all of these things all these years. I'm very sure that it won't even get it, because if I was taking these drugs and then I was making these mistakes, there's no way it could work. Did you get? He even said most times I should not sleep with any like my underwears, because if I sleep with my underwears, it can, even that one alone can actually like build moisture, and what moisture does is that it breeds microorganisms. So microorganisms can now like work and then fight the it's not antibodies, fight the bacteria that is like bacteria that is protecting the vagina. So it told me all of these things, and since then I've been trying my best to take these precautions. That was 2020, last year, and I figured that there was a difference. Although there is like a little period of time that like there's some time that I used to still feel the symptoms. Like no, it wasn't as bad as before. Do you get? So maybe once in a while, and then when that happens, and even when it happens, I know that maybe I have defaulted. See, if I use like a toilet right now that is not mine right now, like I can start reacting like that same night. It's that bad. I will just start reacting. It's that bad. So I'm always very careful. Like I don't even allow my pads to stay long. I use my tissue every time. Like even when I don't have tissue, like I make sure that I don't know, but most of the time I'm only using my tissue. So this is my story, and it's not easy. It's not easy. Like honestly, it's not easy, because like I said, it's more depressing and money consuming than anything. It's more depressing and money consuming than anything. I was still saying that when I have money, like later when I have money, I just go and check the state of my kidney. Although like I've been taking, like even they said I should like be taking enough water and all of that. I didn't even tell you that, like guys, then if I take water, that time I don't even take water, because if I take water, that was when your doctor mentioned the kidney. That was why I was like I could resonate with it, because if I take water, I can't take water without going to the toilet. Like if I take like just a little, I would like be going to the restroom like maybe in 10 minutes. I'm not even capping. Like this is not me exaggerating. I'll be going to the toilet in like 10 minutes, and I can't hold urine. Like I can't hold urine. If I take water at all, I'll be going to the toilet in like 10 minutes, like to ease myself. It was that bad. So like this is what the story is about. But if you're a lady, please, I'm begging you, please take precautions. Like you can even read about all these things. Read about HPV. I think any papillomavirus virus or something. Read about UTI, HPV. There are a lot of them. I'm not saying that you should read it because you feel like you would have it, but it will make you like prevent some things that you should do that can cause it. So please, I'm begging you, like if you're a lady, please check yourself. You might not even know that anything is happening to you. Please check yourself. Like please check yourself. I learned that swab test should be done like maybe every year, maybe once in a year, or even once in 6 months. Like if you're serious, that's not even until maybe you have something wrong with you. Like it should be done like properly, because so that you can know if you are fine or not. You can read about the swab test and all of this. You can also read about it, and please take care of yourself. Like, see guys, please take care of yourself. This thing is money consuming. Like, I mean, it is money consuming. I mean, money consuming. I'm not even joking. The amount I've spent, I can't even start telling you guys about the amount I've spent. It's money consuming, and it's energy consuming. You cannot even do anything like productive. You cannot be productive. At some point, I was not even productive, and that's enough. That is enough reason for me to even be depressed, and it's even more depressing. Like, I'll just be there, like, what is happening? Like, can't I just be fine? So, but now I'm better now. Ladies are prone to this stuff because of the way our destiny is. Because, like, from the outer, anything that happens out there is what enters like our body. So we're actually very prone to all of these things. So please take care of yourself. Please take care of yourself. Like this, in fact, that laboratory doctor, that doctor, like, he opened my eyes to see a lot of things about how our body works, and I actually read a lot about all of these things as well. So please take care of yourself. Don't be careless. Like, I was very careless. Ah, God. In fact, all these I used to say that don't use public toilet. I don't used to believe. Like, I used to like, what is there? I don't used to have toilet disease now. What is there? See, guys, I was like that last year. The day I said that I went to the pharmacy, I was telling the consultant that I'm scared of my fertility, because they said it affects the fertility, and I'm positive that nothing is going to happen to me. I'm going to give birth to my own children, but I was really scared, because this is, you don't understand, this is like me. Like, those are the things that made me feel like depressed, because I was like, hey, our children, like my womb, my all those things. I was concerned, my reproductive system, my urinary system, and all of that. I was so much concerned. But yeah, never took their light, and I need to, like, you know, I had to wait for them to bring it back. So yeah, that was my experience. And you know, I was always thinking that, okay, well, toilet disease cannot catch me, because at least, you know, stuff like that. I didn't take it serious. I used to think there are people who overrate this toilet disease stuff, don't use toilet. And I used to feel like if I go to some places, their toilet is always very nice. Like, knowing to me that microorganisms does not even like work that way. They are like things that we cannot see, and they are everywhere. So I'm urging you, please take care of yourself. Like, go for tests. Like, these things are not, sometimes they don't even have symptoms, so you might not even know that something is wrong with you until later. So please check up on yourself, take care of yourself. Like, personal hygiene is very much important. Please, guys, it's very much important. Please, it's very much important. Yeah, so please take all these things seriously, and please, if you're a lady, I'm begging you once again, like, take care of yourself. Like, please take it very seriously. I'm not like negative, and I'm not trying to scare you, but it's important if you know all of these things like earlier than now that you're not married or you're not giving birth. And if you're like sexually active, please always check yourself. And by now you should know that you should not even try to like do anything without protection. Like, please protect yourself. Be selfish with it. Like, be selfish with your protection, like with your health. I'm begging you, please protect yourself, because at the end of the day, like, we are the ones giving birth, we are the ones like doing most of the things, we are the ones having like carrying pregnancy, we are the ones. This is not a fight of gender equality. I'm just saying that we are the ones that actually like are most vulnerable to all these things. So please check yourself, protect yourself, take care of yourself. And if you have any like experience that you've had in the past, like you want to share, I'm very sure that people want to hear from you, and I want to actually hear from you as well. Please, I'm begging you, drop it in the comment section. I would like to read from you, and I will reply every comment, please. And if you have like any tip as well for like ladies and for personal hygiene and all of these things, please drop in the comment section as well. And I'm very sure that you guys found this video helpful. So if you watch this video to this point, please kindly click on the subscribe button and hit the notification bell so that you can know when I drop awesome content like this. Thank you guys for watching this video. Please give this video a thumbs up, like this video, comment on this video, and please, most importantly, subscribe to my channel. Thank you guys so much for watching this video, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.